Alright, so I'm going to tell you how to make $1,000 per day without starting your own business. It's not going to be your typical video of me sitting here and like just selling you on some course or just pitching you something. I want to give you actionable steps on how to actually do this, because you don't need to start your own offer or have your own course or have your own brand in order to get to $1,000 per day. I know like all these gurus, Bress and all other guys are talking about, yeah, do freelance brand scaling, do TikTok shop, do a agency, blah, 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 all that stuff. I've tried that stuff. Like I've done literally all those business models and failed with them for a long time. And then there's one thing that I started doing, which is called high ticket remote sales, that allowed me to go from broke, literally like zero, to now making over $1,000 per day at 22 years old without even running my own business, okay? So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can get into this, exactly what to do, like step by step, in the most simple, applicable way possible, so you can actually take action on this stuff. I'm not going to sit there and like his pitch and like his yap. I want to give you actionable steps on exactly what I did to get into this, and also the things that I wish I would have done different when I got into this. There's multiple things that I wish I would have done in a different way, and I could have done more efficiently, etc., that you can take away from this. That's going to allow you to just like get to this $1,000 per day goal faster. So first off, just understand, I want to just break the belief that you probably hold, because I held that for a long time. Just thinking that, yeah, the only way to make money online is start my own business. The only way to get to like 20, 30K per month is start my own business. That is not true. And starting your own business is actually the worst thing you can do as a beginner. Because here's the thing, what a business is, what an online business is, regardless of what other gurus are telling you, a business is simply a mix of the skills that you have as a person. If you think about like an agency or doing freelance brand scaling or whatever it is, that's just a mix of the skills that you hold. So you need to know how to do sales, how to get clients, how to book appointments with clients, so doing outreach, etc. Then you need to know how to actually market clients, how to build like landing pages, how to actually run ads, how to do copywriting. It's a mix of the skills that you know that's going to decide how much money you make in a business, okay? Which means that if you to actually make money with brand scaling or with the agency or trading or TikTok shop or wherever it is, you need to learn the skills that are required to actually make money in the business. And if you don't know those skills, you're gonna have to put in the time, the energy that it actually takes to learn those skills. And that's why I stayed stuck for a long time. That's probably why you haven't made your first 10K per month online yet, is because you haven't actually learned those skills. And that's fine. Like it takes a lot of time to learn the skills to actually make money online. But that's also why I believe that starting in high ticket sales is a way better path to take. Because think about it for yourself. What do you think is going to be easier? Learning one single skill, mastering the skill of sales, communication, and persuasion, and then finding one client to go work for to make 10K per month? Or to learn sales, marketing, fulfillment, appointment setting, copywriting, and finding a bunch of different clients in order to make 10K per month? Pretty obvious, okay? So that is why high ticket sales is a better path to take. And number one, you learn a skill that's going to be applicable for whatever you do down the road. When you know how to sell, business and life in general becomes way easier. And number two is that when you're doing sales, when you're doing high ticket sales, you don't need to go through all the mindset shifts and building an entire business and like reinventing the wheel, finding like a product market fit, learning all these different skills. You're just learning one single skill, and then you're coming into a business that already has everything else in place, and you just work for them as a sales rep. You're selling a high ticket course, coaching program, mentorship, or like a service, and you just get paid a percentage for doing so. And you talk with pre-sold leads. There's no cold calling, and you only talk with people that actually want to buy. So I love this stuff. I'm gonna work for exactly how to get into this right now, because I think this is the best path for you watching this right now to take, and it's really what changed my life as well. So number one, to get into this, you need to develop the skill, okay? If you want to get into a high ticket sales role, especially a good one where you can actually make like 10, 20, 30K per month online, you need to take the time to actually develop the skill. And just by doing this alone, you will separate yourself from like 99% of people in this high ticket sales space. Because most people right now, and it's kind of funny because I've worked with hundreds of reps in the high ticket sales space, and I see this so many times where people just completely do things the wrong way, and that's why they stay stuck. Most people, they don't even take the time to actually learn the skill. They just go out, start DMing business owners and try to land a high ticket sales role by doing so. And that's why they stay stuck, okay? If you can just take the time, we're talking about 2 to 4 weeks of actually learning the skill, finding a mentor, finding a process to actually learn, finding a script, and just putting in the reps, role playing, that is going to build the confidence that's key to land good roles, okay? The reason was why I was able to land a very good role coming into this as a beginner was because I had developed the confidence. I had done a bunch of reps. I'd been role playing. I found a mentor that I was just role playing, practicing, and learning from. And that built my conviction and my belief in myself, which allowed me to do way better outreach. It allowed me to show up with confidence on my interviews. And because of that, I landed a role that I was not even qualified for in the first place, just because of the confidence that I had built. So exactly what I did to get into my first ever high ticket sales role is I just had to get very, very resourceful, Back in the day when I was getting to my first sales role, I didn't have any experience in high ticket sales. The only thing that I had was one mentor that I had invested into. I had a coaching program that I had joined before about how to get into SMMA, so like a marketing agency. And I had a couple of connections through that program, you know? So what I decided to do to land my first high ticket sales role is, number one, I invested into this mentor to start learning the skill. And number two, I started pulling all these different strings, you know? So I went into these coaching programs that I joined in the past. I started asking in those groups, like, who in here is hiring for high ticket sales reps? I started talking to all these guys that I knew from the group and asking them, do you know someone else that's looking for high ticket sales reps where I could come in as an appointment setter or a closer and start working with them? I started asking my mentor. I was just like pulling like everyone that I knew in this online industry. I started asking them, and by doing this, I was able to land 3 interviews very, very quickly without any experience. And then, thanks to all the skills and development that I had been putting in, I was very confident. I was very certain in just myself and my ability to figure stuff out. And that confidence carried over into these interviews. I was able to show up with a lot of conviction, a lot of confidence in myself, because I just believed in my ability to come into one of these roles and just crush it, because I had a mentor and I was just certain in my own like work ethic as well. And that showed on my interviews, and that's why these business owners hired me. You know, I was able to land 2 offers in the beginning. I came into 2 different businesses at the same time, and that was 2 different offers that were both teaching how to make money online for beginners, which is the most typical niche, where you work with someone that's working like a 9 to 5 or someone that's like in school and helping them make money online. That's typically like the biggest offers you're gonna be working for in this high ticket sales industry. So I got into those companies, started working with them. Then when I came in there, I just locked in completely. I eliminated all distractions, didn't see women, didn't really see friends even for multiple months. And I just put all of my attention. If you think about your life and like your energy that you have as a guy, like if you think about like all of your energy units, I put all of those units into sales. Like the only thing that I was focused on was just like waking up, working, taking my sales calls, getting better, and getting feedback from my mentor, getting my calls, review that I was doing, asking questions for the other guys in the company, asking the sales manager for feedback, and then training in the afternoon, and then eating. That was literally my entire life for about 3 to 6 months. I just locked the fuck in with that business. And that's what took me from 0 to making $10,000 per month in my 3rd month with that business, and then scaling beyond that up to $1,000 per day. Because at the end of the day, the math here is very simple. You're probably thinking like, how does this even work? Like, how do I make $1,000 per day? It's actually super, super simple. If you sell a coaching program that costs $5,000 and you get a 10% commission off of that, which is very realistic, that's very normal for a high ticket closer to get that. That means that you're making $500 every single time you take a Zoom call and you close the deal, okay? My closing rate when I began was around 30 to 40%. Eventually I scaled it up to 50 to 60%, but in the beginning it was around 30 to 40%. So on any given day, I will take between 4 to 6 sales calls, meaning that for me to make $1,000 per day, if I was selling a $5,000 offer, I only had to close 2 deals per day out of these 4 to 6 calls that I was taking, which is very, very realistic to do, okay? So just break down the math into numbers. If you're selling a coaching program that's even more expensive, if you're selling a program, for example, for $10,000 or $20,000, which I've done myself as well, and you make 10% commission doing so, you'll be able to make between $1,000 to $2,000 per call that you close, you know? So that's how this industry works. You know, if you sell more expensive stuff and you work for good offers with good lead flow, you can very quickly start stacking cash, and you can make 40, 50, even 60K per month in a high ticket sales role. If you just get good at the skill, that's gonna allow you to qualify for good offers and actually just lock in when you get into a business, just focus with them and just get better at the skill, dial in, and just make sure you're selling as expensive things as humanly as possible. And now I want to tell you the truth that most people won't share with you in high ticket sales. At the end of the day, high ticket sales isn't just like, yeah, you wake up in the morning, you take like 2 calls per day and you make $20,000 a month. High ticket sales is not easy, okay? High ticket sales is a real job, it's a real career for you to get into. And if you treat it like that, you can make a lot of money doing this. But if you treat it like a side hustle and something that you're just gonna do like with 1 hour per day and you're just gonna kind of like half-ass it, you're not going to succeed and make big money doing this. You can make like 2 to 5K per month for sure, but you're not gonna make 6 figures, multi-6 figures per year if you treat high ticket sales like it's this side thing that you're not really putting any effort into, okay? Because this is a skill set. Sales and high ticket sales is a very important key skill set in all of business and all in life that it takes effort to actually get good at. And the top sales reps, the top closers, the reason why I was able to get a very high level in high ticket sales was because I locked in on learning the skill. I basically designed my entire life around mastering and getting really, really good at this skill set. I optimized my entire routine. I hired mentors. I put in time, energy to really learn and master the skill. And I changed my own mindset as well. I started developing myself and started treating myself like a high performer in order to get these results. That's what it takes to get to the highest level. If you want to make 20, 30, 40K a month in high ticket sales, it's possible, but it's only possible if you're willing to actually make those changes for yourself and really push yourself and start treating yourself like a high performance, almost like an athlete, because that's how the top sales reps do it. That's how you get to a higher level than everyone else. So that's exactly how it's done, and that's how you also sustain long-term performance in this industry. A lot of people, they come into this industry, they make like the first 10K per month, and then they just quit or they start their own business or whatever it is, you know? If you actually want to sustain performance over the long term and actually get to $1,000 per day, like 30K, 40K per month, you need to just stick to this process, okay? Just keep doing this over a long amount of time and not go off path, you know? Don't have like shiny object syndrome. You see something new on TikTok and you just change the path. Stick to one thing for long enough. Because here's the thing, if you focus on one single skill of sales and do that for the next 2 to 3 years, it's very, very unrealistic for you to not be extremely good. And as a result of that, make a lot of money doing this. So that's how to do it. If you want help from me one-on-one to get coached and get placed in a good offer to work for, I have a bunch of companies from my own network where I train and place guys one-on-one inside of my inner circle. If you want that help and if you want to see if you qualify to work with me one-on-one, I'm very selective who I work with, so I always do a call before you can join. So you can book a call if you want to chat with me and see if you're a good fit by clicking the link down below and booking in a call with me over there. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.